Meanwhile, an August survey by the Center for Reinventing Public Education finds almost half of the nation's school districts have returned to full in-person teaching this fall. And weeks into the school year, luckily, no sign these reopened schools have become significant sites for virus outbreaks. A Brown University survey 2 weeks in shows less than 0.5% of teachers and students had confirmed or suspected cases. Here now with more is Dr. Neil McCluskey, the director for the Center for Educational Reform at the Cato Institute. Dr. McCluskey, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, this is some good news, but teachers' unions have been sounding the alarm for months now about COVID safety in the schools. So what is your take on the fact that so far K-12 schools have not proved to be sites for major outbreaks of COVID?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of alarmism that's gone with COVID-19, and much of it has been directed at education. I think we've had data that's come from the CDC for many months that showed that school-age kids, one, themselves are in very little danger of getting a serious case of COVID-19. And we've seen from other countries that restarted much sooner than we did that transmission didn't happen there very much. It's understandable that people were concerned, but I'm afraid that teachers' unions and a lot of the media coverage was very alarmist, saying that kids were going to die and things like that from going back to school. And what we're learning now is that's just not the case in any sort of large numbers.
Do you think more school districts will begin to offer in-person instruction after this initial positive first month of back to school?
Yeah, we've started to see school districts in different parts of the country say, okay, at the end of October or something like that, we're going to reopen at least partially in person. It may be hybrid schooling. I think they've seen these results come in that it hasn't been catastrophic. And I think they've seen a lot of students either go to homeschooling or to pods or to private schools, and they're feeling a lot of pressure now to reopen and not seem like they're not a realistic option.
Dr. McCluskey, how important is it for these schools to reopen to help kids that might be coming from families that can't or simply don't know how to support them in online learning?
Yeah, in the absence of sort of attaching money to students and letting them find the schools that's best for them, a lot of people have to have the public schools supply their education because they get the money. And when they say you can only learn online, there are lots of people, some with poor internet connectivity, some who are kids who can't pay attention well when they're just looking at a screen. Lots of kids, for lots of reasons, need that in-person schooling, and it's really been deleterious to them, really hurting them, that they haven't been able to go in person, and we need to get them back into schools.
Absolutely. Dr. Neil McCluskey with the Cato Institute, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.